the JSAClix podcast, the show where we discuss high-level competitive, casual, and everything in between. Your host is Jay Solomon, and now, on to the show. Hey everyone, this is Jay. I'm just recording this after we recorded the initial podcast to say that, as you can see from the title, this is just the comment section, but at the time we weren't quite sure, so if it sounds a little odd, that's because we just didn't know at the time that we will be splitting all this up. So enjoy the commons section of our full set review. The uncommons and the rest of the rarities will be up soon. Thank you so much for listening. Hey everybody, this is the first episode of the JSAClix podcast. We're a new team that recently got together, just a bunch of random friends that wanted to. None of us are even close to geographically close, except for a couple Canadians, but we have wanted to just get some refining our game together and whatnot. And also, as you can hear with this podcast, we are looking forward to making content for the Heroclix community, whether that is this podcast or streaming games or other podcasts or other content in the future. We have a whole bunch of members, some of which you might not know, but some of which you do know. The first one I want to mention is he's on today. We have Adam Friedman, who just won the Rock National online event in the singles event, as well as he plays top 4 in the team event, former U.S. national champion, and then 2019 Team Worlds champion. And if he wants to speak up later about me forgetting anything, that's fine. We also have Devin Owens, who is, because apparently there's no Canadian National Championship this year, he is the reigning Canadian National Champion, first Canadian to win that event, as well as 2018 Team Worlds winner. He's not on today, but we also have another Devin. We have Devin Adams of the Happy Little Heroclix YouTube channel. And we also have today Chad Birdsall, who is most frequently known as Rock Judge, especially on the online events, especially these days. I had him helping me with the Rock Online National events. We have a whole bunch of other people on our team and affiliated with the team who I'm looking forward to having on very soon. And we also have some other friends, like I said, who are not on the team but are still good friends of ours, and we're going to look forward to having on the show. Including we have Azareth from who's on Phoenix Nest, and we have the Married with Clicks crew. So the main focus of this podcast is going to be generally the competitive 300 modern environment, which is the most common, of course. But there will also be more infrequently podcasts for other formats. We will have, like with today, we're going to have full set breakdowns when sets come out. We're going to have some Bronze Age talk. We have some players who do a lot of it, like Adam and the Cotes. Also some casual, because a lot of us enjoy casual who are not named Adam. And also, if there are other formats that are currently relevant in random tournaments, like right now, that would be the Celtic Classic format. And generally speaking, when we have alternate format episodes, those are going to be specifically for those episodes. And like I said, we're going to be streaming on Twitch, including essentially just practice, looking at some teams that are the current competitive stuff, the current zeitgeist of the competitive game. Maybe just some team building and some casual games. And we're going to have a Patreon up by the time this episode goes up, and we want to thank all of our patrons in advance. But that just about covers everything that I wanted to go over for introducing this podcast to the world. Now I want to get into the full breakdown of Spider-Man and Venom Absolute Carnage, but of course we can introduce people. So like I said, we have Adam Friedman,
who can talk now.
Yeah, you can say hi or whatever.
My name is Adam Friedman.
We have Devin Owens, the Canadian one.
Hi. Very
and
confident that we'll have patrons, Jay.
I don't know. I mean, that's why you're here, right? To give us clout. And then we have Chad.
Hi, my name is Chad, and I'm an alcoholic. Or is this the wrong meeting?
I mean, you are literally drinking right now, so, that's a thing.
Judgy McJudgerson here.
Okay, so today, like I said, we're going to do the set review.
He is the head judge. So.
Yeah, so I am very judgy in general, but we're not sure if how many episodes we're gonna break this up in, depending on length. But it might be broken up. It might be one long thing. So the format is gonna be we're gonna be going over. I am gonna read over the traits, special powers, keywords, improved movement of characters, stuff like that, and then we're going to try and move relatively quickly. But of course, there's going to be a lot of characters that are relevant, whether or not that's sealed or they're kind of more on the fringe, like B tier figures, or extremely competitive. But I guess it will depend, case by case basis, or maybe even I'm really excited to play this in casual. But
I got my first impressions. I have looked very little at this set.
That is also
I know the big
true.
figures, but
Yep, and Adam doesn't care about most of the set. But we're going to start off with the commons. We have a common Spider-Man 001, as they tend to do. He has Spider-Man team ability, which is Wild Card, which is more increasingly relevant. He has 4 range and 2 targets. He has traded super senses and is a secret identity. On both of his secret identity and regular dials, he has a special power which gives him leap, climb, sidestep, passenger 1. His keywords are Avengers, Codex, Reporter, Scientist, and Spider-Man family. I'll start off because he's Spider-Man. I think he's a fun little Spider-Man. If you're just starting the game now, this is the first Spider-Man you pull. This is a pretty good common version, I think. He has just about all the keywords you want. I think that traded super senses is cool. Just for a small, also, if I didn't mention, it's 40 points. So just a nice little neat Spider-Man. Secret Identity, I think, is reasonable because it has the special power Incapacitate, 18 Defend, and Perplex, which I think is a little bit better than the full dial. But that's kind of all there is to this one. So I don't know who else wants to jump in.
Hard pass.
Are we sure you can't play him on the defend dial?
We already talked about. Oh yeah, so it's Adam already asked me about this, but doesn't seem to remember. But I guess it's worth mentioning anyway. Unless it's ruled otherwise or intended to, as of now, no, because there's no green starting line, and also it would make sense with how they're scored, right? Like Trash Can Spider-Man, you wouldn't want to play him for the same number of points for half the dial. So, but
I stick with hard
just
pass.
because some people wouldn't want to doesn't mean I wouldn't want to.
Okay. So you're saying that you maybe like this Spider-Man on the Secret Identity?
If you can play it at 40 for that, it's not the worst thing in the set.
Very, very confident.
Yeah.
Devin, does this have any interest to you?
he's a taxi, I guess. Seems
Yeah,
fine for sealed.
but if you I don't know, as far as I'm concerned, at least for now, you can play the suited henchman from Batman the Animated Series for 5 points. Doesn't break theme, has Underworld, so that's kind of a,
Not in sealed though.
No, not in sealed, but who knows how
Leap
much
climb
sealed it's gonna be.
continues to be a fairly irredeemable power. If he just had improved movement, he would be better significantly.
But you're always going to make that attack across elevations, there or not. Okay, so next we have
every time.
Yeah. We have a interesting variant of Iron Man who is Mary Jane. This is another secret identity character. We have the Spider-Man team ability, 6 range and 2 targets. To go with that, here's a secret you can mute.
I tried actually. I failed.
That's okay. If you're the first, that's the worst mess up we get today. That's fine. Although having Adam was kind of questionable. So 6 range, 2 targets.
Ooh, I'm down to only kind of questionable. I'll take it.
With 6 range, 2 targets, which goes well with the improved targeting hindering. Keywords are armor, celebrity, Spider-Man family, and Stark Industries. There's a special power that starts on both the secret identity dial and the regular dial here. Which is when Iron Man hits with a range attack after resolutions, each hit target is knocked back 4 squares. Let's start with Devin, or I guess I don't know where. Let's go with Adam because why not?
Seems Like this piece doesn't seem like it does very much. In sealed, it'll probably be fine. It's a flying sidestepper. There's little to argue about there. In constructed, this piece is very unimpressive. It might see play as a secret identity just because it has perplex. That's pretty much all my opinion on it.
Yeah, the knockback power seems reasonable because you don't even have to damage, right? So, but I don't know anybody else.
Maybe
I
Secret
think
Identity, but even then it's a Mary Jane Secret Identity, so I'm probably taking She-Venom.
Yeah. What does Adam do?
Okay, we have 003 Iron Fist, another Spider-Man Allied Team Ability character. We have improvement characters and a trait, I'm the Iron Fist. At the end of your turn, if Iron Fist didn't move or make an attack this turn, give him a Chi token, and then he has free. Remove any number of Chi tokens to make that many close attacks against different targets. Maximum damage value of 3. We have keywords are Defenders, Heroes for Hire, Kunlun, Martial Artist, Marvel Knights, and Mystical. And somehow not a Secret Identity. I guess Devin, who is muted right now. That's convenient. So I'll skip. Oh, there you are.
No, I'm here.
Okay.
Just muting while I'm not talking.
Fair.
Yeah, he isn't very good. Like, I mean, he could be, I guess. He's 60 points. He can make 3 free attacks potentially if you wait a really long time. His stats are just kind of bad for doing that, so I don't really see it. It's possible.
Yeah, it feels like it's a good trait, but they slapped it on a kind of the dials like, okay. Kind of feels wasted.
In sealed, this piece seems absolutely insane.
That's fair.
Because this seems like a really slow set. I don't think there's very much TK, and I don't think there's like almost any hypersonic.
Yeah,
so
range
you
is
probably
minimal.
are going to be able to get him easily up to 3 or 4 counters before he has to engage.
Yeah, that is very reasonable.
And there's quite a few fairly short dials, so even 2 damage for 3 attacks is pretty good.
Well, you just push him, right? And he goes to 3.
Yeah, Precision Strike is relevant, and Power is relevant. It's only a common. If you pull this common, you're like, maybe? I don't know.
It really depends on what you pulled.
Oh, wait. Just to clarify, I just noticed this. So it's if he didn't move or make an attack, you can still place him all you want, and he still gets tokens. Is that right?
Yeah, you can carry.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes him a lot better.
Yeah, because then I don't know.
So
well,
there's actually not a lot of flight in this set, so in sealed specifically, you're probably not carrying him that much.
I think there's like.
I mean, we just had Iron Man. And
Iron Man and
Spider-Man
Spider-Man,
had
literally the
Passenger.
first 2 figures.
Yeah.
There is Underworld to Wildcard in the set for what it's worth.
And there's a lot of wildcard too. Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know. I think he seems fine in sealed.
It's not certain, but it's
Maybe.
not that
I don't know.
unlikely.
How high a theme can you get in modern with mystical?
I have
You get
no
really
idea.
high? Maybe you could like play
I mean,
him on
you
hold
can
with,
get really
like,
high in mystical.
go infinite with Wendigos, and then you just
Yeah.
sit there with like 1 or 2 Iron Fists for like 10 turns to get ready to just like be bad Vulture for 60 points.
100-hand slap. Yeah, maybe.
Oh, it does say any number of Chi tokens.
yeah,
I read
you
that as
remove any
3 Chi
number of
tokens
them with
instead of
1
maximum
free.
value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maximum damage.
Yeah, he can have
I
any
mean,
number of attacks.
the problem is getting your opponent's turns to be quick enough that you have enough turns to build up. Significant
Yeah,
enough.
the game just goes too quickly. It's like, they're vulturing you, they're alpha striking you, they have long range.
I think he meant like their turns take too long. There's not enough time.
No, I get that too, but
Literally.
also the fact that the pace of the game is so.
We're spending an awful lot of time on a figure that really isn't.
I know. We think he's okay. Okay. We have Prowler, another Spider-Man ally, Spider-Man family keyword, improved movement, elevated hindering, special power that he starts with, Smoke Cloud, and then Smoke Cloud is free, but for making 3 markers. Did we start? Chad.
Sealed, guaranteed play. Otherwise, probably not.
Seems like a fair summary.
I mean, three smoke cloud for free, sealed with stealth is absolutely fantastic, and he's got a perplex for 30% for 30 points. Yeah, I'll play that in sealed, guaranteed.
If he didn't
I
have
remember-
perplex, maybe not, but yeah, as is, it's
I remember UXM Storm being really, really good in sealed, and
that's
she
true.
was 20 points more expensive, so
Fair enough.
obviously she's also a taxi, but
Yeah, fair enough. I think Adam doesn't want to comment because it's
I
whatever.
basically have nothing else to say.
Okay. We have one of the first of many characters in the set to do some interesting keyword stuff. We have Black Cat, the first Underworld team ability. She has only the ruler keyword, but that's because she has a trait. When establishing theme teams, Black Cat gains the named keyword of another character on your starting force. So basically Silver Sable. She just always joins your name theme, which is cool. She starts with 2 special powers, 1 on movement, leap, climb, sidestep, stealth, and then, you should be guaranteed to be carrying people by picking a name keyword with her Underworld. And then her damage power is opposing characters within 4 squares can't use probability control to reroll attack rolls that contain a 1 or a 2. Back to me. Sealed. Yeah, it seems pretty good. Seems pretty damn reasonable for sealed. For constructed, if you have a theme team and you feel like you need this piece and it's like a limited one, like how Adam was playing, like thinking about Silver Sable with Eternals, like yeah, but otherwise I'm not seeing it.
If that damage power also had prob in it, then maybe. But
Yeah, she just
as is.
even in sealed, she would have to I would literally have to have 40 points for me to go, yeah, I'm definitely gonna put her on there.
I don't know. I feel like in sealed she's fine because Underworld's going to be at a premium with all the copying, and if she's going to have the keyword you need no matter what. So no matter what, she's like sidestep probably carrying 1 to 2 things. That just seems really good in sealed.
There's a reasonable amount of Underworld in this set where I feel like you don't need her.
Mm-mm.
She's reasonable if that's how your polls lead you, but she's obviously not starting off.
Yeah. Fair.
If her range was longer than 3, I'd be happier about her too.
Yeah.
I would just like to note of the 5 characters we've looked at so far, 1 of them is Iron Fist, and 3 of the remaining ones have been able to carry Iron Fist, despite the fact you thought that there wasn't much carrying.
No, I said there wasn't that much flight.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we have Black Widow, 4 range, 2 targets, and we are seeing the Ultimates team ability coming back, which is the same as Avengers Initiative and Superman Ally, which is improved movement and targeting hindering.
That's not how it's listed on HC Realms. So did they actually update it for the rulebook?
I mean, yeah, they did it on the official site, but it needs to be fixed for Realms, but it is essentially Realms isn't official.
Because there is a difference between those if it's the old language.
Right. No, it was changed on the actual site.
That's unfortunate.
Shut up. Okay, improved movement elevated. Keywords are Shield, Spider-Man Family Ultimates, Trait, Dimensional Travel Watch. Black Widow may start the game with the Dimensional Travel Watch.
Does she come with it, or how
no,
do you get
she
that
doesn't.
object?
I believe it's Ghost Spider.
Yeah, Ghost Spider comes with
Okay,
a watch.
that makes sense. Yeah.
But if you play Ghost Spider until you're probably playing that over
Places
this.
turn resolution, place another character. I mean, it's
Oh yeah,
it's not that good, even if.
Yeah, we'll get to it when we get the. I guess I'll read it off now since we got to a character that can use it. Since we're not. Okay, so 5 points. Equip any and equip drop. Effect is phasing teleport. And then when this character hits an opposing character, if no character has been placed this turn, after resolutions you may roll a d6. On a 3 to 6, place another friendly character with a Spider-Man family keyword adjacent. So essentially, another use of the call and help from the Spider-Verse trait. And yeah, maybe. I don't know. But like I said, I haven't even finished getting into it, but you're definitely not playing her over Ghost Spider. So traded Super Senses as well. Once per turn, you may reroll a friendly character's Super Senses roll or Shape Change roll if that character is within range and line of fire. Adam.
I'm not saying I would never play this piece, but it would be very close to that. Just 60 points is way too much for that, even with the reroll bonus.
Yeah, this is another character where it's like, that is such a good effect, but they gave it to a random bad character.
So I have to throw it out there that the point values that you pull in a booster sometimes are so small that she very well fits on a lot of sealed teams, but that's the only reason why.
Yeah, there are a lot of really low point things in this set. Kind of like Batman animated series where you ended up with like 7-figure teams a lot of the time.
So if you need to fill points, if you need to fill points, she isn't a horrible choice if you have something like Superior Spider-Man, or you have something that has that super sense that you definitely want to hit.
I mean, there's a lot of super senses in this set.
Even without that, just traded super sense of 60 point piece. It's not going to make your team worse for having her. It's just that she's very expensive.
Yeah.
Running shot with 4 range is always sad.
So it's one of those things where never and like non-sealed, but in sealed you might need to fill those points, and she's not an awful fill of those points.
I mean, I played Granny Goodness and Harley Quinn sealed because I needed the points, so she's better than that at least.
I'm looking at how long we've been recording so far. I think we definitely conserve to talk less about figures like this specifically. Okay, we have the common non-prime side of the prime. We have Venom, Spider-Man family, team ability because that's the set. Keywords are Codex, Monster, Reporter, Sinister Syndicate, and Spider-Man family. Improved movement, elevated and hindering, has the symbiote kind of standard trait that they tend to have, plasticity and shape change. Another trait, once per attack, when an adjacent friendly character takes damage, give Venom a protector token, and then remove a protector token to make a close attack that deals penetrating damage, and then Devin gets this one.
Yeah, he's kind of bad Immortal Hulk with that trait. I guess you might play him as a secret identity for Eddie if you were for some reason playing Eddie, but there's not really all that much reason to do that either, so.
Yeah, I like when the secret identities are kind of different dials, and this is just like exactly.
Like obviously he's fine in sealed.
Yeah.
Plasticity, shape change, 11 attack, super strength, great in sealed for sure, but he's just not very good.
This trait confuses me.
Of course it does.
Once per attack, when an adjacent friendly character takes damage. So does the damage need to be during the attack? Does it need to be damage from the attack? Like
I'm gonna
for every attack that occurs, you get one instance of when a thing takes damage, you get to do it.
What if somebody pushes as the result of making an attack? And then
I
does he get a protector token?
How this trait works? I feel like it was intended to be when a character once per attack, when a character takes damage from the attack, is what I think was supposed to happen, and they didn't put that in, and now I don't know how this thing works.
This figure is not good enough to be adaming over it.
No, because if you could just just push yourself generally, as long as an attack has happened to this game,
that would be really relevant in sealed.
Right, then that's going to be good in sealed. If it turns out it has to be you have to get hit by an attack and damage from the attack, then this is not even that good in sealed.
Okay, well, I don't think Chad has anything to add, so I'm going to move on to the common prime. We have a different version of Venom, again, Spider-Man family, or Spider-Man team ability. Keywords are Codex, Maximum Carnage, Monster, Reporter, Sinister Syndicate, Spider-Man family. Improved movement, elevated hindering. A slightly different variant of the symbiote trait, symbiote Codex Hunter, plasticity and shape change. When Venom KOs an opposing character, after resolutions, heal 1 click. If that character had the Codex keyword, heal 3 clicks instead. There's a decent amount of that keyword in the set. Starts with a special movement power on both secret identity dial and regular dial. Charge, but do not have speed. When Venom uses it, after resolutions, deal 1 penetrating damage to each adjacent character, both friendly and opposing. And then has a end of dial stop click on the regular dial, stop toughness. And then he has free roll d6. 1, give Venom an action token. 2 to 5, choose 1 to last until your next turn, either impervious or regeneration. And then on roll of 6, heal 2 clicks. And of course, because this is not steal energy or support, he will still heal 2 because stop only affects those 2 specific sources of healing. Chad gets a symbiote.
Sealed autoplay, otherwise I'm never gonna play it. My angry part about this is for like casual play, I can't actually play this with the other symbiotes that were taken over by Carnage / Null. That angers me.
Because they're all primes.
Yeah. That this set to me should have been very AI in how it works, but I like all the primes, but I can't play them together, so it becomes kind of like whatever to me.
Also, where I forgot to mention, he's 80 points.
Yeah, sealed. Like I said, sealed. I'm gonna play him. Otherwise, not really.
Secret identity dial is good, but
I have to think about the keywords more. I think this might have some bronze potential as just a sort of hard to kill ID battery figure with a no roll ping effect. Might be okay.
Also, I think that's also just a good ID.
Is there a Venom ID?
I don't remember. I don't remember if it's Agent Venom or Venom.
There's an Agent Venom ID.
Oh, if it's called that, then never mind.
If he can be broad enough an ID, that's gonna be pretty powerful.
And that would be real name Flash Thompson. So
yeah. Well,
okay, I thought the ID card just was called Venom, but that's fine.
In a world with ID cards, either way, he can be the one using them because he's stop click traded shape change, or in which he can be called in.
There is a Venom ID. It's Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, it is actually Venom, so that's cool.
Okay, so then yeah, so I think he has reasonable places to be played in bronze. In modern, the ping effect could be powerful if we end up seeing all the other much better ping effects get nerfed eventually at some point this century. Then maybe he actually starts to stand out.
Yeah, I'll allow the Bronze Age comment because we will at some point be doing that.
The ping off of a secret identity could be really good, but
who is it?
The problem is that it's Eddie, and Eddie isn't good.
We'll get to it. He's another comment.
If we had a decent figure that could
if this
secret
was Mary
him,
Jane,
sure, but
if this was Mary
exactly.
Jane, I think that would be a slam.
This was She Venom? Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Deathwalk, one of 2 in the set. 75 points, 6 range with improved targeting. Characters and hindering. Keywords are Assassin, Codex, Robot, Shield, Soldier. Traded, Regeneration. Starts with a special damage power. At the beginning of your turn, choose a standard damage power. Deathwalk can use the chosen power until your next turn. This is mine anyway. If I didn't say that he was 75 points already, he is 75 points, and that's the problem. I mean, sealed, yeah, probability control, whatever. But any other format? I don't think so. Anybody? Nope.
Agreed.
Okay.
I'm trying to think if I even play him in sealed, because his dial's so just not good.
The prob, though, that could be
damage power is really good.
Yeah, and it also goes back to you're probably going to need extra points.
If it turns out the problem though is he's so many points and he's so easy to kill that he actually just is a liability on your team. Like I think that's less true for the 40-point what's her name, or even the 60-point what was it, Black Widow. Like I think those pieces are actually harder to kill to get the points off of them. This thing just seems like it just dies.
He can perplex himself to a 19 or pick shape change, I guess. But yeah,
I feel like I would only really consider him if I was desperate for prob. But that's already.
I mean, the thing is that prob, perplex, and outwit are all really good, and getting to choose between when you need each specific power is quite strong. So I think I'd play him fairly frequently. But I feel like
I remember a world in which I was paying that many points for Mandarin, and Mandarin was much better.
I mean, yes, Mandarin is definitely much better.
Okay, we have one of 2 bombshells with again the Ultimates team ability, 40 points, 5 range. Keywords are champions, femizons, sinister syndicate, and ultimates. Trait mother-daughter duo, which works with the other bombshell in the set. Force blast. If bombshell is within 3 squares of that other 0.25 bombshell, she can use pulse wave and has all caps protected pulse wave, so she cannot be targeted by pulse wave at all. And then she has a special speed power. Running shot. When bombshell knocks back 1+ characters after resolutions, bombshell may move up to X squares, where X is the highest number of squares a character was knocked back during that action. So, yeah, depends on how many that character was knocked back. I think she's. Oh, I think Devin. Sorry, or no, Adam, because Adam's showing up.
So in general, this piece seems fine and sealed. Otherwise, I don't know that I would play it. But my main question is, I don't know if I understand that speed power. I don't know that how many squares a thing is knocked back is actually well defined. I don't know if that means the number that they were assigned to be knocked back or how many squares they actually moved.
Actual squares that they were placed.
Are we sure about that?
It says was knocked back, not the number of knockback they were assigned.
I get it. I just don't know what the definition of was knocked back is. Like, if you are knocked back and you hit a wall, you were knocked back.
I feel like the intent is maybe it's a little poorly worded, but I don't know.
But yeah, this seems fine and sealed. I don't think it would be played in constructed. And I was confused because I thought Bombshell was the name of a DC hero.
It's a keyword in DC.
No, isn't there actually like a Bombshell? She's like 7 soldiers.
I don't know. I don't think it doesn't matter because it can't. Those figures don't work together. It has to be the specific set number.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If you pull her mom, she's definitely very good in sealed.
Currently in DC for Heroclix, it's only the bombshells. It's not a specific character named Bombshell.
Okay.
Tombstone is 75 points. Sinister Syndicate and Underworld team abilities. Keywords are Magia, Sinister Syndicate, and the Hand. Has one special power. Impervious, Tombstone, can reduce penetrating damage, protected outwit, basically a bruiser dial. This goes to Devin.
Yeah, seems fine. Not incredible. Definitely not playable outside of sealed, but probably perfectly fine in sealed. It partially depends how many figures with those keywords there are in the set. I'm assuming Sinister Syndicate isn't an uncommon one.
Yeah, there's a fair number.
No, Tombstone's a common.
You need to stop. I also should clarify that this power is protected from outwit, not him as a whole character. But does seem fine and sealed sound about right to everybody?
Yes.
I maybe okay. I don't even know I'd give him fine.
I mean, unoutwittable heavy reducers are pretty good in sealed. There isn't like a ton of Psychic Blast in this set.
Well, Psychic Blast doesn't do anything special against Impervious for him anyway, because he reduces it.
Yes, exactly. That's a good point.
Okay.
So, very hard to get through.
There is
Carnage.
penetrating poison though, so he at least
No,
stops that.
he reduces penetrating. I don't think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He stops that, so that's
yeah,
good.
Yeah.
If your polls are such that he's good enough, you're gonna play him. It's simple as that. He's not a first tier pick. We have the Carnage minion, who has the common maximum Carnage trait. Once per turn, when Carnage minion hits, after resolutions, deal 1 penetrating damage to up to 2 opposing characters that weren't hit but are adjacent to a hit character. The same symbiote Codex Hunter trait as the Prime Venom, and then a special speed power, which is Flurry and Sidestep. This gets to go to, was it not Loki, Chad?
I'll play him sealed for 30 points because I'm probably gonna need to fill 30 points anyway. Otherwise, he's only coming in if on the off chance I actually play Carnage and I make one.
Yeah, and I think you're more likely to play him or keep him on your side on the outside the game for generating with that Carnage rather than actually playing him.
If he had charge.
I mean, if he had charge, he would
This
be
piece seems
damn
absurd.
good.
Like the damage potential off this thing in sealed is crazy for 30 points.
It's very
So he
high.
flurries, it gets through shape change. So you do 2 with each of the hits, and each time you hit, you get to deal a penetrating to 2 other
Once per
targets.
turn.
Oh, it's once per turn? Oh.
Yeah, once per
It's
turn when he hits.
Still a lot of damage. He's threatening 6 damage on a 30-point piece without any modifiers.
If you have TK to get him into
I
position.
mean, even without
great.
it, like you just move
Without
him up
it,
and he's got
he's-
shape
yeah.
change plasticity. They're not getting
It's true.
away.
For 30 points.
Yeah. And he's got
Yeah, I mean, he's
reflexes.
definitely very playable.
Yeah, I don't think you need to go too in depth on reasonable and sealed because I don't know, there's not much sealed.
Well, I
but-
think he's better than reasonable in sealed. I think he's actively good in sealed.
Yeah. Okay, Toxin, which is also has a secret identity. Codex, Monster, Police, Reporter, Sinister Syndicate. This is one of the secret identities for Eddie Brock. Has the police team ability, Symbiote plus SC shape change trait, and then special movement power starting on each dial. Leap climb. When Toxin uses it after resolutions, he may make a close attack, so not quite charge, but full movement, make an attack. This is my pick. I think he is quite reasonable for sealed. Decent movement or good move and attack. And then he follows up with he has plasticity and an 18 defensive combat reflexes. The police team ability can really start to stack up. And I think he's just all around reasonable and goes on your sideline if you have Eddie Brock.
He might see play in Constructed on a random monster theme team to get the police ability if you have ways to like copy it a bunch of times.
Huh.
That might not be completely implausible.
50 points for JSAClix is pretty decent. Field. I'm not too keen on his powers, but he's cheap.
Why doesn't he have the name Patrick Mulligan? That literally
That is a
drives
good
me
question.
insane.
I don't know.
The
anything
older
about
one
I
did,
don't know.
so I don't know why
I
they say
was-
unknown here.
it.
Yeah, I
Says
don't know.
unknown.
I don't think any of us were responsible for it, so.
I think it's because they didn't know Chad.
Okay.
I mean, a quick Google would have helped them a little bit at least.
I don't think that
Okay.
exists in universe.
I'm going to go on to Harry Osborn because we are still in the commons. We have Spider-Man team ability, 30 points, Dark Avengers and Spider-Man family keywords, secret identities for American Sun and Green Goblin. So I'll actually read it off because this is the first one. When Harry Osborn would be KO'd, you may instead replace him with a secret identity character with a listed name on click number 9. This game, when that replacement is KO'd, it scores this character's points and an additional 25 points. So if you replace, it's 55 points. Maybe it's worth it, maybe it's not. He also has autonomous, and it goes to Adam.
Autonomous support and sealed seems great. Spider-Man team ability is good. He is a perplexer on the later parts of the dial. I mean, this piece seems just all around great and sealed. Constructed, I don't think he's got any keywords I care about really, and there's better things to do on Spider-Man family. So he's really good in sealed, but otherwise unremarkable.
Okay, I'm going to move on then to Mary Jane Watson, one of the more notable characters in the set. Spider-Man team ability, 15 points. Autonomous, keywords are celebrity, Spider-Man family, Stark Industries. She has the secret identity trait for Iron Man that we already went over, Marvella, and then She-Venom. So she returns into them on the click number 9, extra 25 points plus this, so scores 40. And then a trait, power action. If no friendly characters, no friendly bystanders named paparazzi are on the map, roll d6, generate a number of paparazzi bystanders equal to half the result in unoccupied squares within 4 squares. And it's worth pointing out that the bystanders named paparazzi prevents you from making a bunch of different ones with a bunch of different Mary Janes. I think we were at Devin.
She's ridiculous. You get at least one, possibly more, free in caps at a fair range, since she can sidestep, make a paparazzi one in front of her, which can sidestep, and then it has 2 range. You push them to death the next turn and make more. She has a secret identity, so you can't just really go kill her. She's obviously extremely good.
Oh, I should have mentioned
everything.
Paparazzi are autonomous, 2 range, 5 sidestep, 10 attack in cap, 15 defense, 0 damage.
Even if you don't have anything to in cap, just the ability to put paparazzis around to block lines of fire and stuff is very good.
Come on, Adam. I know you have more to say.
I mean, I didn't know if it was my turn or if it was Chad's turn.
Oh, just jump in.
She's easily the best common in sealed. She might be the best piece in sealed. She's absurd even in constructed. There's lots of things you can do with her that are crazy. She's just all around very, very, very powerful. She has basically with access to the Iron Man one, she becomes a perplexer when she dies. Yeah, this is the metric by which you judge the rest of the set as this piece. At common.
You say when you KO her, but she's also ludicrously hard to KO for the points. 17 energy shield and shape change.
Yeah, so she's a 19 at range with shape change. And she can copy team abilities if they're relevant. Like,
yeah I mean,
and she's probably going to have a paparazzi or 2 between you and their line of fire. So
yeah, like in constructed, she can move. Like she makes the paparazzi to move and let you equip your special objects or your equipment as autonomous actions, and they're kind of mobile blocking terrain. They can generate trouble or troll makers. The utility the utility that she has is not even been remotely close to explored, I don't think.
She's 15 points.
She's broken.
You can throw her on
literally she's just broken.
I don't think so she is the reason I'm no longer in favor of printing autonomous on actual figures.
I don't think they should have ever done it to begin with.
I was fine with it on bystanders. It made sense for some of them.
Yeah, bystanders is fine for some of them, but actual figures, it should have never happened.
I mean, I was okay with Legion, I guess, because it was like the sometimes, because it's the dial thing. But the other ones are all okay. Some of them are even good. She did not need to be autonomous on top of everything else. She would have been
autonomous actual figures. Just the fact that they're equipable is really good. Not for her as much as the other ones.
No, for her,
you can just
you give her 0.
Yeah.
Like,
And then when you're not making paparazzis, you make barrier. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of them are really, really good with 0. Getting autonomous barrier is very, very strong.
Yeah, it's either you have 0 for a free no matter what, and then you either power action barrier or make more paparazzi, which can a lot of the time just be barrier for most intents and purposes. So,
Yep.
yeah.
And how do secret identities work with equipped objects? I assume that the
That's
object
the replacement,
is
so it's
KO'd
dropped or
effectively.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That's what I thought.
Depends on the object, whether it's drop KO or drop unequipped.
The rings are KO.
Yeah. So we have Eddie Brock, who gets secret identities for Toxin and Venom. We've seen all those characters already. Symbiote trade for plasticity shape change. 4 range. Keywords are Codex Monster Reporter. Chad?
Not the worst thing in sealed, but I'm gonna see what other options I have. Not gonna play it any other way.
Yeah, I don't really see why you would play this with one of the secret identities on the sideline instead of just playing the secret identities on your main force.
Toxin and Venom both are better to play in sealed than an Eddie that turns into them.
At least he has the symbiote trait himself.
I think
slightly
this piece
better,
is great in sealed. I don't know. You guys are like, everything's had low range so far in this set. So as far as I can tell, like 4 range is reasonable, and he's got
Plus sidestep.
Yeah, well, plus sidestep, right? He's got the sidestep. He's got the maximum range we've seen so far. Like, and he's just a 35-point autonomous RCE with shape change traded and plasticity traded. This piece seems awesome in sealed. Like, he does everything. It ties them up. It doesn't die very easily. It's got to roll out. And then he's got RCE. And he's autonomous.
I'm used to evaluating 4 range as is never going to get shoot at anything, but maybe that
in this set so far, we've seen 4, 3, and 0, right? Those are the only numbers. And 2.
I can't think of anything that's above a 6 off the top of my head.
So
Iron Man had a 6, I think.
I mean, it all depends on what you give Shield Team ability.
Well,
Is
but
there
that
a
means
shield
that means he
ability?
could get it. Yeah, there's actually I don't know if there is.
Leo's got it if nobody else does.
Yeah,
Oh,
Leonardo Venom chase
yeah.
at the very minimum. Yeah.
That might be his saving grace then. He's the only shield.
Yeah.
But I
Okay.
think he's great in sealed. I don't know.
Peter Parker, he's a guy, a very obscure character, never heard of him. Spider-Man team ability. Keywords are Avengers, Codex, Reporter, Scientist, Spider-Man family, 3 range, and autonomous. Secret identity for Spider-Man, which in this set is the common and the super rare trash can version. Was that Chad last? So me? Somehow?
It just sounded like you were insulting the super rare one.
No,
Trash
but
can figure.
throw him in the trash. I mean, prob and sealed, not easy to kill with super senses, very mobile with leap and autonomous. 11-3 range incap is not like, I don't know, it's all around good. And if you have the secret, if you're not going to play the secret identity super rare version as that, but you can definitely, if you have the common, I think that's a better use if you have this as well.
Yeah, usually I think.
He feels like so close for constructed, but it's just every point matters now, right? So, like, I want it to be, but I feel like I want to pay less points.
He seems like the second best common we've seen so far.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean,
honestly,
autonomous prob.
Yeah, all the secret identities period are that fringe where they might pop up. Just because of autonomous.
Cheap characters that effectively have a stop click that are autonomous.
Yeah.
I don't see any problems with any of that statement. That all seems fair and balanced to me.
I would just want to pay
Heroclix,
30 instead of 35 here.
Completely sensible. Like, that's what I think of completely sensible. Autonomous stop clicks on cheap figures.
Yep, that's what I expect from everything.
Right.
It's basically an activation dial.
For some of them.
It's better than the old secret identity where you have to get to the power.
Oh,
and then they
so
get power action.
They specify a secret identity character. I don't know how that's defined, unless it's the name of the trait.
It has, on the cards, they say secret identity, like right above the image of the character.
Okay. Because I was going to say, if there's
any
old characters that had secret identity traits with those names, presumably they could be used with them.
So if you replace a secret identity character on your turn, and they have been placed, that doesn't carry over like it doesn't for shifting focus, right?
What?
What are you asking?
I don't.
So like
understand.
the shifting, sorry. So there was some stuff that you could do with shifting focus characters where you like used like the dad Spider-Man to move them up and then shifting focus so you could take an action. If you moved a secret identity character up and then like force blasted them into a wall, they could probably do the same thing.
I don't know how you're taking 2 actions in the same turn, because that's one of the things that carries over. That was true even.
No, they're not taking another action.
Then
He's talking about literally somebody else is carrying the secret identity, and then you're executing your secret identity.
Or dad Spider-Man specifically. I
Yeah,
guess.
no, being carried. Yeah,
carried.
that
Carried's the
Spider-Man
same
works
problem.
because his clause is carry in all but name, like with the no action after.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
Right.
oh, that's the dad Spider-Man you mean? Yes.
Yeah, the Earth X
Then
one.
that works. Yes.
okay.
Yeah,
Last
so that could
comment.
there might be some shenanigans there, maybe.
Then you have to play that
Little niche,
figure.
but-
And
With
that's
4
it.
clicks,
Yeah,
it seems
that's fair.
unlikely. Like, I feel like all the secret identity characters have too many clicks.
I know what you're talking about. This is great. 3 clicks for 15 points with shape change, man.
If Adam likes it, it's bad. That's all I know about life.
Ooh, that's a good rule.
Okay.
Can we like get that monogrammed or something?
Okay, I want to finish off the comments finally. We have Aaron Davis, secret identities for Iron, Spider, and Prowler, Underworld team ability, basically stealth perplex. I think we're back to me. He is a perfectly reasonable autonomous perplex stealth. Like everything here is reasonable for sealed. I don't think the secret identities are good enough to warrant constructed thought, but yeah, I don't know.
This one in particular could be played in constructed. There are some situations where you want access to Underworld to like copy it with other stuff, and if 25 points was the value you were trying to get a perplex at anyway, then he's a little bit harder to kill than some other stuff. So so instead of like paying 5 points for suited henchman, or for friend of humanity to get Underworld, and then paying 25 points for some perplex effect.
Billy Batson.
Well, he's 20, so like I think this is actually a little bit better than Batson overall between the 2 dials. Because Batson's 40 even if he wants to transform, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and then he's probably not actually doing it.
right. So at the 20 points, which is the better comparison, like okay, you pay basically 5 extra points compared to Billy plus suited henchman, but you get the extra dial he turns into, and then stealth, which seems fine.
Sure.
And the fact that he actually has the Underworld keyword, the Underworld team ability himself, is pretty relevant with autonomous. Lets you
Right.
move people around for no actions fairly frequently.
Right. Yeah.
I just go back to my every secret identity potentially has a place.
Thank you to everybody for listening to our Commons section of our full set review for Spider-Man and Venom Absolute Carnage. We're looking forward to bringing you more content in the future, specifically the rest of the set review, which we'll be putting out one rarity at a time for your listening convenience. Thank you.